Hey everybody, just want to make a video talking about the whole Kanye West situation. I probably won't be able to say everything because of the algorithm. But anyway, they're using, and this is another thing that I think they're using to take away free speech, and they're gonna make it like you're in trouble, like if you try to seek the truth and find out like who's responsible for the evil in the world or whatever's going on in the world, like who's in charge. And man, I want to say more, but I feel like I can't go into it too much. It's being used to silence us. That's the ultimate goal. And obviously, like with his bank dropping him, um, they're gonna use that on. I think eventually they're gonna use that on us. I think that's already starting to happen. So they're gradually rolling out the agendas for the one world government and religion. They're gradually rolling it out one by one. They're taking away people's rights, and they want the people to want it to happen. They want, like, it's like a problem reaction solution. They create the fake problem, and then people react. They have the solution. In this case, Kanye West called out a certain religion or group of people that you're not allowed to say anything about, or else you get canceled. So he's getting canceled right now. And like the people, there are a lot of people at the top, the powerful people that are part of this group, this religion. And I know nice people that are part of this religion. I know nice people, but one thing that these elitist people have in common is that they're part of this group, and they're in charge of like the media, the school systems, the entertainment industry, the World Economic Forum that Vladimir Putin's a part of. Like, that's an example, like Charles Schwab, right? I thought that was very weird. Um, Also, there's a certain thing that's used to say like they're the victims of everything that happened from 1939 to 1945. That it said that the details about it were not all true. Germany was in a Great Depression after World War One for 2 decades. They were starving. They got behind you know who as their leader as a act of desperation. I'm not saying everything they did was good, or I'm not like but you know who, their leader, he called these people out publicly, and the what we were told is that they were just a bunch of crazy Christians trying to make everybody Christian, which is not that's not true. They he their leader, you know who, he brought prosperity back to Germany. Although he was controlled too, because I remember he did a certain handshake during this parade when he brought the prosperity back. Obviously, okay, he's one of them, but like when I say one of them, like he's controlled to a certain degree. Like he's not like. I'm not saying they didn't do anything shady or anything bad. I'm just saying like the official story we were told that was they changed details. That's what I'm trying to say. Um, I'm actually 1/8 German. My last name is German. I'm none of my ancestors. They had already immigrated to the United States by this point, so they weren't like they weren't part of that, but or at least they weren't in Germany at the time of 1939 to 1945. What happened then? But man, it's so annoying like with the algorithm. But because I'm trying to dance around it with my words, but and I wasn't there. I wasn't alive back then. But this cancellation stuff, it's like so out of control. But they're using it to take away free speech. You're not allowed to question who's in charge of things. The school system thing, I didn't really get into that, but I have one example that's famous. Bill Gates owns Common Core. He's part of the group. There are a lot of names I could name. A lot of names. The famous ones are like Jacob Rothschild, George Soros, Henry Kissinger. Um, David Rockefeller's dead, but he used to be. I could name a lot of names, okay, but um, I could name a lot of names. I don't know them all though. There's some I know that I haven't even said, but I know this is a risky video, but no one's gonna see it anyway. So I'm just venting in the middle of the night. I don't know. I'm seeing that like that Kanye West is getting canceled. I think he's controlled too. He said Kim Kardashian's Christian. Really, they're a family of witches. What do you think happens to their pets when they're not on the show anymore? I've heard rumors about that on Blind Gossip. People in the comments they seem to know what happens to them because a blind several years ago, 2014, 2015, around that time, they asked like what do you think happens to them. This world's trash, man. It's so satanic. I hate it. The people and pets I have love that. Love Jesus. Love God. Love all that stuff. But love God's word. I love His rules, His commands, even though I break them at times. But I just love like traditional moral values. I'd love to find a woman that's awake to the truth about things. This world's messed up. You're not even allowed to talk. I know Kanye West said what he said in an edgy way. Like going death con. I was like he really just like he said it this way. Um, like he didn't even hesitate, but I think it's a psyop. I think it's on purpose. He's been with like a very obvious Pharisee in Joel Osteen and a controlled Pharisee who's rumored to be part of the Church of Satan in Texas. Um, prosperity preacher. Samuel's about to call your name, right? What do you think happens to the money that gets stolen from his church? And wasn't there a PEDO busted in the Sunday school there? All right, that's a whole nother thing. Oh man, if I could do like an hour-long video exposing the televangelists. You saw that? What else? I was gonna say something else. Joel Osteen, Marilyn Manson, the Bible burner. Didn't he have him in one of his performances? What? What is this? Like what is this? What is everything? Like when you see the Bohemian Grove video, what is this? Like people are really doing this? I know like they have to please Satan and false idols that are demons. They have to please them like get the rich and to become rich and powerful. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, and sometimes famous if they want to be. But it's like you don't care about eternity after you die though. But a lot of people, they don't want to live the life of a loser. They don't want to like have someone telling them what to do and talk trash to them. So they join like Skull and Bones and these satanic secret societies. They join. A lot of them are born into it. They're born to the royal bloodlines and that group that I was talking about. That Kanye West said something very edgy about. That you're not allowed to say anything about. See, with Christians are fair game. You're allowed to talk trash about them. I feel so bad for the Germans, and I'm 1/8 German. I have German heritage and stuff. I feel so bad for the Germans that like have to damage control for something like a lot of them weren't even alive for and didn't participate in, or and the details about what we're told about it weren't even all true. I mean, this world's messed up, man. I hope someday we all learn the truth about all the stuff that really happened and like, and obviously the NASA stuff's a lie. So like all the truth about like, I know like the Bible describes a certain amount of like what we're in and what it is and all that, but we don't know like the 100% like what the model like totally looks like. So that's why no, don't do it. Sorry. What are you doing? That's why I'm like it'd be cool to know the truth. Maybe I'm not supposed to know all of it, but they don't want us seeking the truth. They want us to be brainwashed. That's why they put screens in our homes. It wasn't to make us happy. It was to brainwash us, socially engineer us. But yeah, that's why we have TVs. To socially engineer us and to brainwash us. Why does everything have to be like this, man? Like, why does the world have to be like this? The stuff I just said, even like censoring myself to dance around the algorithm, like the things I just said are like I'm not like no one listens to this stuff. They don't listen. They just get mad because it's not what they learned in school. It's weird. People hate school when they're in it, but then when you tell them what they learned in school is a lie, like with me, I'm like, whoa, really? Like I'm listening. With other people, they get so salty because they don't want to admit that they believed a lie and that they fell for it. And like I wish people weren't like that. I wish people would listen more, have more of an open mind, and just and humble themselves. I try to. It's not easy. Like I used to think this was all. Like I didn't listen to all of it, or I didn't. I heard it before, but I didn't think it was all real. Um, in school, they did not prepare us for the world on purpose. The elites want all the money and they want everything for themselves. They don't want us to be good at it. They want us to be poor and have like no control or power over ourselves at all in any way. They don't want us to be able to support ourselves well enough. What are you doing over there? Okay. Yeah. So that's why they didn't teach us like how to survive in the real world, like how to buy a house, how to buy a car in school. They taught us things like fake science, fake history. I'm not saying it's all fake, but a lot of it was like just things we didn't need to know, um, or that are lies to brainwash us. This whole world's messed up. Like we're born into this. We can't. And these people are so powerful. Like these evil people, they're the most powerful people in the world. It's very frustrating. And I can't find somebody to marry that knows all this stuff. I'm 30 and I'm a virgin. I stayed a virgin. I kept it biblical and traditional. I did struggle with like softcore porn on the internet, which people think is not bad, but it's something that I should have stayed away from. And a lot of it started because I was watching like the R-rated Oscar contenders that had like hot women in them and stuff, like in that sense. But and I regret following that stuff. I regret watching those movies. They use the awards for the agendas and then put bad stuff like that in it, like the pornographic stuff. And they say it's art. Like they know what they're doing. They know what they put the stuff in the movie on purpose. Why would anybody want to go to Hollywood? Like with that and like the PEDO stuff and well, I get people need to pay their bills, so there might be that, but you would have to like promote the agendas, and you'd have to do like pornographic stuff and other bad stuff too. It could be violence. It could be any whatever. Curse a lot. Like you'd be surrounded by people that make you do drugs probably, or you know how many of them are chain smokers, alcoholics and stuff. Like it's not. It's very nerve wracking being famous. I bet. I mean, I'm not famous, but I think it's a scary thought. Because people think like, oh, everyone's gonna love me and be such an amazing life. Like they might not. Like you might have like a fall from grace or something. Like you don't know what's gonna happen. Um, sorry. What was I talking about? Okay, so Hollywood. Yeah, you don't want to be famous. I don't want to be famous. There really. I'm not bragging, but there really are not that many people like me. It's hard to find. I have like a single digit number of friends I keep in touch with all the time. That's normal though. I've heard a lot of people say that. But wow, this video went this long. Okay, this always happens. I could go on like for an hour, honestly. But I already made more than one video talking about like how I can't find a future wife that like traditional Christian truther woman, like virgin, like wants to wait till marriage, all that stuff. And I'm 30, and like I said, I said in another video, like the window gets narrower as you get older. It gets narrower. There are less people that are available. I only need one, just one woman. That's it. Once I find her, but I don't know who she is or how to find her. I don't know where to go. I don't know where she is or who she is. Trust in God. I do feel like I have to take action like to find her, but I don't know how to do that. I don't know where to go to find her. I know people that go to church that can't find anyone. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't, but they're not truthers though, like me. So I don't know. I don't know. It's just one woman. I just have to find one. And we can start a dynasty. I don't know how many kids I'm gonna have. or if I'm gonna have it. I mean, I'm sure there'll be kids. I don't know how many though, but what am I born into? Like, what is this world I was born into? Like, what is this? I don't know everything. Just so you know, I'm not trying to make you think like, oh, I got all the answers to like what the truth is. I don't, but I'm just telling you stuff I heard and research I did, and man, I don't know what I'm doing in this world. I feel like I really don't belong here. There are people that are nice to me and stuff, but they don't agree with me on everything. They still believe a lot of the agendas. Surprisingly, a lot of Christians do. Like I didn't know this many Christians would cave this fast, like already, to the agendas. Where they're talking about the agendas like they're real things, like they're not, as if they're not lies that are leading towards the one world government and religion. I'm like, wow, like you actually believe this stuff? I get it if like non-Christians do, but like you're Christian, you believe it? Like really? I know non-Christians that like they don't even believe all the agendas. Like they're not falling for all of it. That are actually closer to like what I'm thinking on a lot of topics. It depends. Like everybody's different. Everyone's got their own beliefs. It's like so hard to find somebody that's like 100% all in for the truth. But I don't get this life. I don't have to get it. I know God has a plan. He does. I know people roll their eyes, but he does. The storylines happening right now is what God wants to happen. It's actually fulfilling biblical prophecy about the end times. If you read like the description of like what it says it's going to be like in the end times, like in the last days, it's happening. A lot of that stuff's happening. I'm not saying it's all happened yet. Like I'm not saying the tribulation's happened yet, but it's getting there. They gotta gradually take our rights away, like with this, like your social score, like oh they can freeze your bank account, like that type of stuff. Like just like if you don't, if they see something that like maybe it could be like this video, like they might find this like oh we saw like on YouTube he posted this, so like and that gets me in trouble in the future. Like something like that could happen. I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen. Not looking good for the future. Agenda 2030. It looks like it's on its way. It's getting worse. I don't know. I don't know. And a lot of people, like including Christians, are falling for the agendas. I don't know if it's because they see like these Christian celebrities that are not really Christian, that are controlled opposition like all the other ones. Then they listen to them, think like, oh, this is a successful Christian, so I'm going to listen to them. That's the problem. They think like, oh, this person's so successful, like God blessed them. It's same with like the televangelists. It's the same thing. It's like we're like oh God blessed this person so much because they're so Christian that they made it like to being famous. It's at the opposite. They're controlled opposition. They say they're Christian to lure Christians in. That's what the elites use them for. And then they say the agendas, and then the Christians believe the agendas, and they think it's Christian because this celebrity said so. What happened to the verse that says that God looks at, like, he doesn't look at what other people look at in people? What happened to that? Like, a lot of people don't even follow that. Hello. Um, like it's like a lot of Christians forgot that was in there. No, don't do it. Don't you dare. Don't do it. Don't do it. Okay. Sorry. Yeah, it's my cat. Okay, so what are you doing? What are you doing, buddy? You're my buddies. You're my buddies. All right. You're crazy. Why can't? Why do things have to be this bad? Like, what is this? One good thing about the future wife situation is everything happening right now. It's really narrowing down like who it's not. uh, just being honest. Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of a lot of people caving to the agendas. They're not as Christian as they say they are. They act and talk like they are. And I'm not just talking about women here. I'm talking about like anybody. Um, uh, I don't know. Things have changed a lot since I was a kid. Changed a lot. Already. Like a lot of people are caving to the agendas more than back then. It was already happening. Like I remember, like when I was a kid, like everyone I knew believed the NASA stuff, including me. That's changed. So I woke up to that. The other agendas, I didn't really believe most of them. The 1939 to 1945 thing I just said, that I believed. I believed that agenda. I felt like I didn't know like I was being told like a morphed version of the story. Also, I forgot to mention he allegedly fled to Argentina and died in the 60s there. Like he faked his death and all that. I've heard that before. I saw like a photo of what's allegedly him when he was older in the 60s. I forgot to mention that earlier. Because I go on these tangents where I keep like talking about all this stuff. But I know I said a lot of controversial things. You might not entirely know what I was talking about because I had to use code words and dance around the algorithm because YouTube is very sensitive with this stuff. They took down a lot of videos that I learned about this topic from. I didn't actually like it wasn't like so many videos, but ow. Hey, stop it. I sorry. There were there were some videos I learned about this from. They're gone. I don't think they're on here anymore. BitChute probably has them. They do. I think they do. But not all of them. But YouTube, they they got really strict lately. What are you doing? What are you doing? Hey, what are you doing? Sorry, it's my cat. But yeah. Um, I'll wrap up the video. I'm gonna go to bed. It's 2:40 in the morning. Um, Stay strong in the Lord. Seek the truth. Jesus saved us. If anyone ever sees this video, just know that you agree with what I'm saying. Just know that you're not alone. We're spread out. We're scattered. So. Uh, Sorry. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? Are you distracting me when I'm filming? You're crazy. I love you. I love you. I love you. Good night, everybody. Sleep tight. I don't know what else to say at this point. I'm tired. What are you doing? What are you doing? You crazy? What are you doing? What are you doing, crazy? You so crazy? Oh, half hour. There we go. I was trying to get to the half hour mark towards the end, and I just did. So. Crazy. I'm gonna wrap up the video. I know, like, I just wasted a lot of time, but just petting my cat. I don't know if anyone even made it this far anyway. But later.